Those who saw the Zodiac Killer. This episode is only about those people who witnessed the Zodiac Killer and what their description of the Zodiac Killer was. James Owen lived in Vallejo and was on his way to work, and he came very close to seeing the Zodiac Killer. And he saw another vehicle next to the station wagon. He said he definitely saw two cars, and he stated that he did not see anyone in the cars or around them. Now, the next witness of the Zodiac Killer is Michael Mageau. And while he was lying on the ground and the police first contacted him, he stated in response to Sergeant Conway's questions that the responsible was a white male, young and heavy set. He further stated that the responsible was by himself and in a brown vehicle. A white man drove up in a car, got out, walked up to the car, shined a flashlight inside and started shooting. Man was older than me, window was down. After stopped shooting, I got out of the car. I tried to get the people to come over, but they drove off. After finally 10 minutes, the policeman came. Now, this testimony is after Michael was out of surgery. Subject appeared to be short, possibly 5'8", was real heavy set, beefy build. States subject was not blubbery fat, but real beefy, possibly 195 to 200, or maybe even larger. Stated he had short curly hair, light brown, almost blonde. He was wearing a short-sleeved shirt, blue in color. Michael stated the subject did not have a mustache, nor was he wearing glasses or anything. Michael only seen the man from a profile view. He was a white male, approximately 26 to 30 years of age. Now, the reason that I created this video was because after watching that documentary, especially the part about the Lake Berryessa murder, Deputy Collins stated that Cecelia spoke to him about seeing the Zodiac without the mask. And so I went and looked in the police reports, and I wanted to see what was recorded or what he said, and I couldn't find anything. All the police reports just talk about after he had the mask on. So I don't know if the report is just not there, or Deputy Collins is recalling from the past what he remembers, and he might not be remembering correctly.
That guy has come down here. And then she looked again and she said he was gone. And I said, well, where did he go? She said he stepped behind a tree. And when the tree was 50 to 75 feet away. And when he stepped out, he was pulling a hood over his head. And I said, a hood? She said, yes. And that was the first that we had known that we had something more than the usual crime that had been committed. And I asked her if she saw him clearly before he put the hood on. She said, yes, I did. And I said, well, what did he look like? And she said, well, I said, what color was his hair? She said, well, it was brown. And what race was he? He was white. And I said, well, how about his eyes? Could you see the color of his eyes? And she said, no, he had dark glasses on underneath the hood. But she said his hair hung down across his forehead and was showing through the eye holes.
Now, after Brian Hartnell was stabbed and they were waiting for the ambulance to come, he spoke to several people there. And Brian said that he thought the suspect was possibly between 20 to 30 years of age, that he was about 5'8" to 6 feet tall. He weighed between 225 and 250 pounds, and he had dark brown hair. Now, when Hartnell was at the hospital, two sheriff detectives spoke to him about what he witnessed. And he stated that the assailant was wearing a black ceremonial type hood, square on top, and appeared to be heavy set, between 200 and 250 pounds. He also stated his assailant had approached both of him and Ms. Shepard with a gun, but had stabbed them with a long knife. Hartnell further stated the gun was in a black holster and the knife was in a sheath. He stated that the attacker was wearing dark clothing, dark jacket, and dark pants. Hartnell further stated that the gun was an automatic pistol and the knife had a black handle and appeared to be homemade. Now, I decided to include David Rayfield's description, and he gave this to deputies Narlow and Longergang. They stated that they went down towards the beach area when David noticed a white male adult subject walking in the area, described as about 5'10", heavy build, wearing dark trousers, a dark shirt with red in it, long sleeves. He stated the subject was carrying nothing in his hands and was apparently just walking alongside the hill area about halfway between the road and the lake. David further stated that when the subject observed him, he turned around and walked up the hill in a southerly direction. Dr. Rayfield and his son stated that they did not notice a vehicle in the area of their vehicle, only this subject at a distance of about 100 yards. Now, Lindsay Robbins, or possibly with help from his sister Rebecca, gave this description. The witnesses had observed the subject from a residence directly across the street from the cab and described him as male, Caucasian, between 35 to 40 years, 5 feet 8 inches, medium build, short brown hair, wearing eyeglasses, dark navy blue or black parka jacket, dark brown trousers, and dark shoes. The witnesses reported they had not heard a gunshot. Now, Officer Donald Fouke gives the ultimate description of the Zodiac, saying that he was a white male adult between 35 and 45 years, about 5 foot 10 inches, 180 to 200 pounds, medium heavy build, barrel chested, medium complexion, light hair color, possibly graying in the rear, crew cut, wearing glasses, dressed in dark blue waist length zipper type jacket. Subject at no time appeared to be in a hurry, walking with a shuffling loop, slightly bent forward, head down. The subject's general appearance, to classify him as a group, would be that he might be of Welsh ancestry. So we got to look at those Welsh people. So I think the general consensus is that he was a white male in the age range of 25 to 45 years old. His height was 5 feet 10 inches. His weight was 200 pounds or possibly more. That they didn't know his eye color, and he wore glasses, and he had brown hair, and he had an unusual walk, maybe because one of his legs was injured. Well, this ends another episode of Unsolved, and I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to finding out who the Zodiac killer is or was. And my side-by-side photographs of the suspects seem to be getting closer and closer to the sketch. So I'll see you next time.